Got a cold, kind of wet situation going on outside right now. It's 40 degrees and it's still wet out. So I'm actually sitting here just drinking some tea. I'm about to go outside to take care of the animals. So the animal that was sick actually did die this morning. I took a look out there this morning, and the animal is dead. The animal did die this morning. So that I always start off, if I have any bad news, I just tell you, right? If I have bad news, I just tell you, okay? I ain't gonna lie about it. Lying doesn't help anybody, right? Especially not me. I'm not gonna lie about it. I'm just gonna tell you it is what it is. The animal did die this morning. So I'm actually gonna go and I'm gonna take some soap water, and I'm gonna go and clean down the preconditioning pens. After I get done feeding the cattle, I'm gonna clean down I'm gonna spray down the preconditioning pens with soap and water, so that and I'm gonna clean out all the feed troughs and everything with soap and water, so that I can sanitize everything, and then I'll let the animals back in there. So yeah, I'm just sitting here drinking some ginger turmeric tea. And so yesterday I was talking about this whole the fictional story based on a non-fictional man, right? Named Farmer Howard. And Farmer Howard, the whole situation is that Farmer Howard has no money. But Farmer Howard, at the end of the day, he knows that he is a very capable farmer. He knows it because that's his whole life. All right. He knows it because that's who he is. Money talks, and Farmer Howard may have no money, but Farmer Howard does know that he knows how to farm. If there is one thing in the world that he knows how to do, it is to run a farm. So Farmer Howard has no money, but he decides, right? And I talk about this in terms of money. I think one of the biggest things that to actually make money, and I call it, I guess, occupying the space. You need to be willing to actually have money. All right, you need to be willing to have money. And from my personal situation, is that me. The whole thing about me, the way that I came to peace with the idea of having money was that I didn't sell my soul to the devil to do it. All right, I didn't sell my soul to the devil to have money. And like when you listen to me communicate, you understand that I am willing to have money. Okay, I understand that I make money. I make lots of money, and at the end of the day, if it was up to me, everybody, and I've already said this is not possible. The idea of distributing wealth evenly is not possible. Okay, it's not possible. That's communism. If you think communism is going to work, I mean, you're either very naive or you're an idiot. Communism does not work. All right. Thinking that communism is going to work you're borderline, that's very not good. All right. That's very not good. Communism does not work. Okay. The American system is it is the best system in the known world. As of today, it is the best system. If you take a look at it through an objective lens, the average person in America has a drastically higher quality of life than anywhere else in the world. Okay, even after everything, the average American has, but if we start moving towards a more socialistic society, then you're gonna find that the poor get poorer. All right, there's this whole idea that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Well, that happens very drastically in socialist populations. All right, socialists, the rich are extremely rich, and then the poor are extremely poor. And in America, even if if you have relatively very little money in American standards, your quality of life is still drastically higher. Okay. And it just is. It doesn't get any better than America. All right, it does not get any better than America. If you legitimately thought that it was going to be better than America, I mean, where do you think you can go and it would be better than America? Where it's not possible, it's not going to happen. All right, like it's not. I don't. Are you an idiot? I mean, there is no situation where you can go somewhere and you will have a better financial outcome than America. America is the land of opportunity. It doesn't get any better. All right, you don't have to ask anybody if you want to start a business. If you want to go and start a business tomorrow, you can go and start a business tomorrow. All right, and it does. You don't have to ask anybody. Whatever. I mean, and that's the thing. Well, but the whole thing. Okay, because I wanted to go over this real fast. But the whole story about Farmer Howard. All right, I was talking about this yesterday. But Farmer Howard doesn't have any money, but he's come to the conclusion that Farmer Howard is gonna go and make some money. Farmer Howard has decided, it is time to make some money. So Farmer Howard, when he looks at his situation, he knows, well, I don't have any money, but I am still a world-class farmer. Farmer Howard is still a world-class farmer, maybe one of the best on the entire planet. All right, maybe one of the best. So he looks at his situation and he goes to the bank and he takes a loan for $7,000. So he's negative $7,000. With that $7,000, he purchases 6 cattle. And this should actually be 2 tons of fertilizer, not 1 ton. Because 1 ton of fertilizer is about $550, and 2 tons of fertilizer is about $1,100. Well, right now it's about $1,200, but one animal is about $900. So I mean, it's more or less about $7,000. Okay, 6 cattle and 2 tons of fertilizer. So by the end of the year, Farmer Howard, after 12 months, has managed to turn, by selling his 6 cattle and utilizing the 2 tons of fertilizer, has been able to turn these 6 cattle worth of money into 12 cattle worth of money. He has actually purchased himself 12 cattle by raising these 6 cattle. So he takes a look at his situation and he has appraised his assets. And he has determined that his 12 cattle are actually evaluated at about 18 cattle worth of equity, because according to Farmer Howard's business plan, when he purchases these animals, he buys them small and sells them big. So when he sells a big animal, he can actually purchase more than one small animal. So he takes a look at his situation and he says, these 12 cattle, if I liquidated these 12 cattle right now, I could probably buy about 18 small animals. So he looks at his situation and he says, you know what? I don't want to take loans anymore. So in this situation, and he has also determined that he is going to cash flow the debt service. So he's going to cash flow the debt off of his balance sheet. He's going to take his profits and take that money and pay off his debts. So how many cattle would he have to sell to pay off all of his debt, and how long would it take? All right. So if he just continues to run his business plan the way that it is, it takes him about 6 months to take an animal from 200 pounds up to 700 pounds. It takes about 6 months to take an animal from 250 pounds up to about 700 pounds. And when he does so, he'll just about double his money. So, according to this business plan, how long would it take for him as of today to pay off his debt using just the profit that is being produced from his business, and how many animals would he have to sell? All right, to think about it, I'm going to take a sip of tea real fast. It would take him 2 months, and he would have to sell 4 cattle, right? Just about. All right, he would have to sell 4 because, he's going to have to buy, things like fertilizer and et cetera, et cetera. This is a very, very, very basic, and, and this is a very basic way to look at it. And I'll go over this at the very end. So really, Farmer Howard only has 8 cattle left. He has 8 cattle left because he paid for his loan, his negative $7,000. He paid for that by selling 4 of his biggest animals, and it took him 2 months. All right, it took him 2 months, and he paid off all of his debt. And he bought more fertilizer to grow grass for the rest of the animals. So in this situation, Farmer Howard has 8 animals and 0 debt. Over the next 365 days, how many animals will Farmer Howard end up with in 365 days in this very simple situation? Right, he'll go from having 8 animals, and 6 months later, when he raises these animals, right? Farmer Howard is a very capable farmer. He's extremely good at farming, right? He may be one of the best in the world. So when he raises these animals, he actually doubles the value of these animals, and he is able to do it very knowledgeably and he understands how to do this at a fundamental level, right? He's very capable and he understands how to do this. So he takes the 8 animals and he doubles their value after 6 months. And then after 6 months, he will double their value again. So Farmer Howard started off with 8 animals, and by the end of the year, he ended up with about 30. So now Farmer Howard is in a situation where he is making how much money as of right this moment? All right, how much money does Farmer Howard have? Well, those 30 animals, when he raises those 30 animals, he's going to have about 60 grand, right? And that, which is about an extra $5,000 a month. And that took 2 years, right? Very simple. And, and after a certain point, the money, this is what I've been saying. You don't need $1 million to be rich. You don't need $10 million to be rich, and in all honesty, after a certain point, the money doesn't even do anything. All right, granted that you're not doing some, ridiculous thing like gambling, leveraging yourself to the eyeballs, on drugs. Granted that you're not doing anything like that. The money doesn't really even do anything. All right, I would say that I probably, my balance sheet probably appreciates by close to about $10,000 a month, and that's actually going up very quickly. I would actually say that I have $4,000 cash left over every single month. Like if I legitimately paid for everything, bought everything that I needed, and grew my business, bought everything that I needed, everything, I would have $4,000 cash left over, and my balance sheet would have, all in all, my total appreciation in terms of how much money did I generate in net excess, it would be close to about $10,000 a month. And that number is actually going up quickly. It's going up pretty drastically. And as of today, I don't even worry about money. I'm just going to be honest about it. I don't even worry about money. I don't worry about money. When I look at money, I look at it in terms of, am I making a positive return? Am I making a substantial positive return? Do I have enough to pay for everything? If yes and yes, then it doesn't matter. After that, it honestly doesn't matter. I mean, I'm not sitting here going, oh my God, let me go and buy myself 3 Lamborghinis. I still live in the same house. I still drive the same truck. My net worth went up by millions of dollars, and I'm still in the same situation that I'm in. And what am I looking to do with my money? I'm looking to grow my business. All right, I'm looking to grow my business. That's what I'm looking to do with my money. Honest to God, it is what it is. Okay, I mean, my net worth went up drastically. I do very well for myself. I still live in my same trailer house, and I still have my same truck, and I'm net excess, probably about $10,000 a month, and that number is actually going up very quickly. All right, but this is a very simple way to look at it. The story of Farmer Howard, right? And after 2 years, Farmer Howard has 60 grand, and and after 3 years, he has 240, right? I mean, 60 to 120, then 240. Very simple, right? And and that's the whole idea of of how I make money, right? But in reality, I've already said this, that in reality, because reality is not a simple system like this. This is very simple. When I write it down, it's very simple. And at the end of the day, it's very difficult for me to tell you exactly how, how much, what it's difficult for me to like map out exactly what everything is. Very difficult for me to do it on a piece of paper. It's very difficult for anybody to do it on a piece of paper. But when I look at it for what it is in terms of a reality lens, like it just is what it is. It's not an opinion. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. It just is what it is. I actually just about somewhere between 70 and 100%. That's my rate of growth right now. I increase my business is about 70 to 100%. I just about double up, just about go up by 70%. 70 to 100% a year. That's my growth rate, about 70 to 100% a year. That's what it is in terms of a reality lens. When all things are considered, like, I got to buy things, and, I got to pay for things, and I got to buy feed, and sometimes I don't have grass, and, and sometimes the commodity markets go down, but that would also, more or less it's about 70 to 100% so far. All right. It's about, but the commodity markets have effectively just gone sideways for a extended period of time, and so but that's what that's what it is right now. All right. My business grows by about 70% to 100% a year. Okay. I just about double the size of my business, just about increase the size of my business by about 70% a year, something like that. That's through a reality lens. And so, in this situation, Farmer Howard would be making a 400% return on his money, but that's not how things work out for me. Farmer Howard is a fictional character. Me, I'm real life. So, me, I would say when I take a look at my situation, I actually increased the size of my business by about 70% to about 100% a year. That's reality for me. And so, I'm good to go on a lot of things. I got a lot of grass coming in right now. The grass is coming in real good. I got to take a lot of these animals over to the new field, but there's just so much mud out there right now that I can't really get the trailer loaded up, because the whole I'm gonna get stuck in the mud. And so but that's what it is for me. But the whole thing about money is that I find that when it comes to making money, I think that one of the most just realistic, or one of the most sincere things that if I was just going to give my perspective, when I just give my perspective, is that a lot of times you have to be okay. From what I have seen, like me, I am okay with occupying the space where I have money. All right, I'm okay with the idea of having money. And personally, from my personal my personal view on things is that money, I find that it helps a lot that I did not sell my soul to the devil to have. Am I saying I'm a saint? No, I'm not a saint. But when it comes to making money, I did not sell my soul to the devil to have money. All right. That's the thing about me. I did not sell my soul to the devil to have money. Am I a saint? No, I'm not a saint. But at the end of the day, I'm not even saying but. I mean, I'm not a saint. I'm not a saint. I have a lot of money. I'm okay with having a lot of money. I'm okay with the idea of having a lot of money. And I did not sell my soul to the devil to have money. All right, I run beef cattle. At the end of the day, it's not, the way that I see things is that it's not a perfect situation. If you legitimately think in terms of idealism, like if you're legitimately an altruist, if you're an idealist, you're an idiot. All right, and you should be ashamed of yourself. All right, there is zero ideal situation. There is zero altruism. The world is not easy. All right, the world will always be difficult. There will always be a level of difficulty in human society. In all existence, there will be a level of difficulty. It doesn't matter the ants, the bugs, the animals, human beings. There will always be a level of human difficulty. There will always be a level of universal difficulty. It's not a bad thing to have difficulty in life. All right, this whole idea, oh my God, things should be easy. They should not be easy. Things are not ever going to be easy. And if you're in a situation where you legitimately are looking for the easy way out on anything, it doesn't matter what it is. If you are looking for the easy way, you're going to end up effectively just being an idiot forever, and your life is going to be miserably hard no matter what. There is no easy. There is no easy. All right, and maybe when I speak about this, it will just kind of be interesting because take a look at my situation. Right, even right now, I'm running almost 120 cattle a year on a 10.5 acre field. Does that sound easy? Right? Does that sound like, I'm a first generation farmer. Does that sound easy? It's not easy. I'm telling you, it's not. It's borderline impossible. All right, it was I legitimately had to put everything that I had on the line to do this. The bank would not give me any more money, and that's how I got started. Okay, I leveraged myself to the maximum to get this farm. All right, the bank would not give me any more money. And I legitimately, and when I got here, I'm just gonna be completely honest. When I got on this farm, I effectively, what was going through my head with the utmost honesty was that I'm gonna make this work, or this is my only opportunity in life, because I legitimately used everything that I had to get here, everything. All right, it was legitimately everything. And that was what honestly went through my head. I have to make it work. That's the only, I'm not even gonna say I have to make it. The thing that was going through my head was, this is my only chance. This is my one chance. All right, I don't get another chance. So either I do it or I die in the process. Legitimately, that was what happened. All right, and that's the whole situation with me. And it's like when you take a look, and it's like, oh my God, right, multi-millionaire, makes in excess of like $10,000 a month. Money is negligible. Oh my God, it's not fair, right? Right, and it's like, if you're legitimately in that situation, that is not good. I mean, because take a look at what I have to do. All right, I run 100 to 120 cattle a year by myself on a 10.5 acre field. All right, does that sound easy? Does that sound like a Disneyland adventure, right? I mean, if you're gonna be poor, then die poor by yourself. Nobody cares, all right? I mean, especially not me. All right, and realistically, even if as of today, even if I had $0, it would not matter. It would not matter. Even after a certain point, the money doesn't even do anything. All right, the money, even after a certain point, and it would take me 2 years to make 250 grand. It would take me 3 years to make 250 grand, and after that, the money effectively, even at 60 grand, it's starting to, because it wouldn't matter. All right, it wouldn't matter. It would take me 3 years to make 250 grand. And after that point, it's like, if my assets are appreciating and et cetera, like I'm in right now, I mean, I would say I make about 250 grand a year. And when I take a look at my whole financial situation, the amount of money that I'm making is actually about to go vertical. All right, the amount of money that I'm making is going vertical every single month. I'm not even using any debt, and I'm still managing to grow my business by about 5 to 10% every single month. All right, I'm not using any debt. And my business is growing by about 5 to 10% every single month. All right, but at the end of the day, it just, but me, that's one thing that I found is that you have to be okay with occupying the space of having money. All right, you have to be, that's how I think, occupying the space. Are you okay with having money? And me, I find that it is easier for me because here's the thing, is that, me, I'm not some horrible, malicious person, right? I don't like to see suffering, right? There will always be hardship, but I don't like to see suffering. And I talk about this in terms of a universal karma. If you're sitting around and I fell out of heaven to 7 mode, and if life is not easy for me, then everything's unfair mode, and you're just more or less a borderline complete idiot, right? And you may even be malicious. Maybe you're sitting around, waiting for others to fail. Maybe that's you, right? And you're not taking accountability for anything. Then how do you think your life is going to work out for you? Right? Trust me, it doesn't matter to people. Like me, it doesn't matter. If you're, if I will leave you for dead. not even going to attempt to save you. I will leave you for dead. I genuinely do not care. All right, I don't know how else to put. No one cares. Die poor. Have fun with that. All right, do I believe I'm in some ideal situation where like I've achieved the pinnacle of human success? No, I don't. And in all honesty, with the utmost sincerity, I sincerely hope, and I sincerely would love to see humanity do better, continue to do better, even outperform me and do better on things, right? 99% of the problems that we are facing today, if humanity really got after it, because the average person has the capacity to be a genius. This has been well documented. The average person has the capacity to be a genius. The average person has the capacity to be a genius. If you have 100 IQ, you can effectively learn how to do anything. All right, and we're in a situation where a majority of people have learned to become a complete idiot moron. You're not even going to achieve 10% of your potential outcome, and then you've come up with some ridiculous sob story or some moronic thing. Oh my God, I didn't make it because I live hand to mouth because and then effectively that. All right, and then now I have 49 people that think just like me, and I surround myself with these people because now I feel better about my situation because now it's not just me, it's everybody that I know. And and it's like if you want to break out of that, you may have to take some drastic measures. I don't know. In all honesty, I say this all the time. After a certain point, it's too late. It's almost always too late already. It's almost always too late. Chances are you're not gonna wake up tomorrow and just go, I'm looking to do better for myself. I'm looking to objectively do better for myself. Well, let me just pick something that I have going on and then get better at it. Let me look into my antibiotics program. Let me look into my feed program. Let me start collecting my own data off of my own farm. Right? Let me start, thinking about let me take a look at my business plan. Right? Let me think about investments that I can make for my money. Let me start looking for good investments. All right, chances are, if you're in, I fell out of heaven at 7 and my life's a magical journey, and I didn't make it because the world is unfair mode. If you're chances are you're not gonna wake up tomorrow and completely change your decision making process. It's already too late. It's already too late. Do I wish the best for you? Do I hope that if it was up to me, would everybody, effectively just turn around instantaneously and start, start improving? Yes. If it was up to me, yes, I would love to see that. It would make me, it would be incredibly, wonderful if that happened. Is it going to happen? Probably not. But maybe if I introduce the idea, maybe I can get more people going in the right direction. All right, a majority of people, including me, were born more or less completely average. All right, more or less completely average. And if you're born average, anybody who is born average has the capacity to become a genius. All right, you have to understand this. You don't want to end up in a situation where you are born average and then go downhill forever. All right, that's not good. And I don't know, collect your own information. Start thinking about things for yourself. Take a look at it for what it is. Are you? And I talk about this in terms of business because business and money. Business is, money is a very important aspect of business. You're not going to get into business if you don't, understand money. And money is very simple. And the thing, and one way of getting better in terms of business is and in terms of a spiritual sense, I talk about this all the time. Am I going to sell my soul to the devil to have extra money? No, I'm not. The money already is negligible to me. It doesn't matter. The money's already negligible, okay? I already make a massive excess, and the amount of money that I'm making is actually going up drastically. Every single month it is going up. All right, it is going up every single month. I already make a massive excess. It doesn't matter to me. Money's already negligible to me, okay? It doesn't matter. All right, so, but the thing about business is when you look at money, it just is what it is. Is the amount of money that I'm making going up every single year? Yes, it is. It's a statement of a fact. Nobody cares about an opinion. It's a statement of fact. Is the amount of money that I'm making going up every year? Yes. Do I have I'm the guy who runs this thing. Do I have a reasonable idea for increasing the amount of money that I generate over the next foreseeable future? Yes. I'm actually going to do drastically better for myself. I'm actually already at a situation where I am liquidating about 7 or 8 cattle every single month. And when I liquidate these cattle, I actually make enough money to buy about double every time I liquidate. And that number's actually going up because I got myself a good opportunity on a lease property, and I'm getting myself into the backgrounding business. And when I get myself into the backgrounding business, I will be liquidating animals at 800 instead of 650, and I can do that very efficiently by just growing grass. All right, I'll be increasing the profit per animal even more. All right, and so, but business is very simple. Is the amount of money that I'm making going up? Yes, it is. All right, it is, and it's going up drastically. It's not an opinion. Nobody cares about an opinion. It's not an opinion. All right, it's a fact. The amount of money that I'm making is going up drastically. All right, it is. And so, that in terms of business, money is very simple. Is the number bigger or not? Yes, it is. It's drastically bigger, and it's about to get drastically even more bigger. I don't even know if that's a word, more bigger. It's about to drastically get a lot bigger. It's about to get a lot bigger. All right, I'm actually liquidating animals already, and I'm liquidating. I already have animals at market weight, and I'm liquidating 7 to 8 every single month. Within about 4 months, within about 5 or 6 months, I'll actually be liquidating double the number of animals every single month. I would anticipate that I'm liquidating somewhere between I would be liquidating somewhere between 14 and 16 animals every single month, and at higher weights. Within about 6 to 7 months, I'm actually going to be liquidating at a higher weight, and I'm going to be liquidating more animals. All right, but granted that it's kind of it's kind of a wonky situation because the property doesn't have any city water, and so I'll have to see what I'm going to do about the water situation when it gets hot. There may be 2 or 3 months in the summer where I don't run any cattle on that field because it's just too hot, and the landowner also the whole ag exemption thing. And I need to bale hay on it, so I could bale hay in the summer. I could just cut all the grass and bale it in the summer, and and when the weather improves, I could grow grass back on it, and the ponds will fill back up, and I can whatever, buy more animals then, and but overall, yes, the business is going to do better in the foreseeable future, drastically better in the foreseeable future. All right. And, money to me, it's already negligible. If I legitimately felt like I needed more money, which I don't think about, I have plenty of money. I have massive, and, in my situation right now with the amount of just assets that I have, and, just the amount of it, I could shovel $1 million into a hole right now and light it on fire, and it wouldn't even do anything to me. That's my financial situation. All right. Legitimately, it is what it is. I could shovel $1 million into a hole right now and I could light it on fire and it wouldn't even do anything. All right, and the amount of money that I am making is going up drastically. All right, it's not an opinion. I have a very clear-cut idea of how I'm going to do it. I've already made a deal on how I'm going to do it, and I'm going to and I'm already in the process of in here in about a week or two, I'll be liquidating another 4 animals at about 650. At about 650. All right, I'm sitting on about $2,100 cash as well. Right, I mean, when I reinvest all of this, I mean, my business is still growing by 5 to 10% every single month. All right, and my profits per animal is gonna go higher, and it's gonna go higher very efficiently when I start, when I just take these animals over to the lease property. And so, but that's the thing about me, and even if I had nothing, it wouldn't matter. If I legitimately had $0, I could redo all of this. I could redo all of this. It wouldn't even take me very. It would. I would restart all of this in 3 seconds. It doesn't matter. All right. At the end of the day, the money is negligible. You have to understand this. If you think that money is gonna fix anything, if you think money is gonna solve it's not. There are certain things that you can buy with money. There are certain things that you can do with money, but there are also things that you cannot do with money. And saving somebody is not something you can do with money. All right, because if you took a very hard look at every individual that legitimately has money problems, you would often find that they don't have money problems. They have some other problem, and that problem is manifesting itself in one way as money. That's the reality of the situation. One thing that you cannot do with money is save people. You cannot save people, especially not from themselves. Because, you got to understand that some people are legitimately malicious. Some people are legitimately like an egotistical moron, right? A complete idiot. Oh, if the world is not fair for me, if I didn't make it, then the world is not fair. That's legitimately what they are, right? I mean, they're in a situation where they're legitimately maliciously looking for other people to fail. Oh man, I want this other person to fail. They get this little sense of happiness from seeing other people fail, right? They get sense of happiness from being malicious, and that's not good. And there are legitimately people like that, right? And you cannot save these people with money. Our money, if anything, is going to make their problem worse. All right, if you legitimately, feel like, money, the most realistic way that I have found to make money is to accumulate good assets. That's how you do it. All right, you accumulate good assets. That's how you do it. All right, and what makes a good asset a good asset? A large amount of equity. A large amount of equity. A large amount of equity, a reasonable reason for appreciation, something that you understand. All right, that's the big thing, an asset that you understand, something that you understand. All right, and money is not an opinion. All right, trust me. In my current situation, like if I was gonna sit around with just cash. Think about it like this. Right now I'm liquidating 7 to 8 animals a month. By the end of the year, I will more than likely be liquidating somewhere around 14 or 16, and I will be liquidating them at a higher weight. So in this situation, if I'm liquidating 14 to 16 animals a month, and I'm liquidating them at, let's say I get $2,000 per animal instead of $1,600. If I get, let's say $1,900. If I get $1,900 per animal, right, and I liquidate 15, I don't even know what that is. I mean, I don't even know what that is. What's 20 times 15? That 20 times 15 would be 30,000. All right, would be 30,000. And the thing is that that number is gonna continue to trickle upwards. It's gonna continue to move upwards. Granted that I am able to and after I already said that I'm gonna do everything by myself until I can't do it anymore, and then I'll probably do something like hire a veterinarian, right? I'll buy better equipment. I'll buy self feeders. I'll buy automatic feeders, and I can do all these various things. But my business, actually well, but it's confusing because even my preconditioning pens can only hold 7 animals, and even if I use my field here as a large preconditioning pen, maybe I can precondition maybe about 14 or 15 animals a month, and and I'm looking into buying myself a new field. I'm going to be liquidating more than 14 to 15 animals a month by the end of the year, okay? I would actually anticipate that my income ends up somewhere closer to $1 million than it does 250. Right now, my income is about 250, and by the end of the year, my income is going to end up closer to about $1 million. All right, I would reasonably anticipate that I end up closer to $1 million a year than I do 250. All right, and it's a lot going on, and it's a lot to keep track of, and I do very well for myself. But at the end of the day, it's what I do. I mean, what would I do if I stopped working? I don't even know, right? I mean, that's the thing about me is that I'm effectively, I'm completely at peace with the idea of working until I die. I'm completely okay with that. And my plan is that I'm going to be 150 years old and I'm going to be half robot. I'm going to be a cyborg, 150, and then one day I'm going to drop dead in the middle of my field, okay? And that's, and I'm going to work until that day. I'm completely okay with the idea. There are a lot of people. Oh my God, I don't want to work even 40 hours a week. Oh my God, I don't want to hold a job. And oh my God, I can't believe it. I have to wait. I have to go to work. And oh my God, I'm not really working 40 hours a week. I'm working 43 hours a week because I have to get up an hour and a half. I have to get up an hour early and then take a half an hour commute. And they come up with all these ridiculous. Me, I don't think of none of that. I'm completely okay with working. I'm gonna work forever. And that's how it is for me. All right, and but that's it for me today, YouTube. Y'all have a good one.